Para la quinta fecha de clausura 92, Independiente llegaba con grandes expectativas. A 2 puntos de los punteros, el hincha prefería mirar el vaso medio lleno. Goleada central, una dura victoria ante un Platense que andaba bien, y el equipo mostraba unos juveniles muy interesantes. En cambio, prefería olvidar los partidos con Quilmes y con Unión, la lentitud defensiva del equipo en el retroceso, la imprecisión en la mitad de la cancha, la intermitencia de sus jóvenes figuras. Pero más que nada, las expectativas estaban puestas porque en la doble visera se jugaba una nueva edición del Clásico de Avellaneda. Esa tarde, en una demostración de algo que solo puede llamarse mala suerte, una joven promesa sufrió una grave lesión. El Dani Garnero, figura de ese equipo, se rompía los ligamentos. Ya en las divisiones inferiores lo habían operado 2 veces, en el 87 y en el 88, y esta sería su tercera operación en la rodilla. Estaría más de 6 meses fuera de las canchas. Ese día contra Racing se retiró reemplazado por Jose Lopez. La dupla ponía los mismos 11 y ya recuperado volvía el paraguayo Ramón Hicks, que estaría en el banco.
To go, don't forget, in the second half of the season. And let's tell you first of all about the team changes for Independiente. In fact, that's an unchanged side. The one that started the match in Rosario last Sunday, where Independiente were winners by 3-0. Craviotto in the number 4 shirt, familiar for followers of Argentina football, the current international in their ranks. The visitors this afternoon, then, Racing Club, have 2 changes from the side going down at home to Newell's Old Boys last week by 1-0. And it's Fabri and Marini coming into the side, with Sergio Vázquez injured and Gwendolyn, who failed to make an impact last week in midfield, missing today from the starting lineup. So Fabri and Marini in for Racing Club, who were bitterly disappointed to lose their unbeaten start to the season last week, going down to a second-half goal from Newell's Old Boys. That was the game we brought you a week ago. We're underway here in the first half, and I can tell you straight away that in the last week, as we move into autumn in the Southern Hemisphere, there's been a drastic drop in the temperatures down here in Buenos Aires. 64 degrees today, it's cool and overcast. Conditions just about perfect for this derby. So crucial to both sides as they look to consolidate a title challenge in the second half of the Argentine Championship season. Clausura champions a year ago were Boca Juniors. As we get a quick look here at the Red Devils bench, the Independiente side with 12 league titles to their credit, the last one of those coming in the 88-89 season. Really are a fabled side here, one of the magic names in the Argentine scene. And Racing Club, well, living rather on former glories, the side who haven't won a championship since 1966-67. That, incidentally, 25 years ago, saw Racing Club playing for the World Club Championship against Celtic. You may remember the Scottish side becoming the first British team to take the European Cup in the year they beat Inter Milan by 2-1 in Lisbon. And just for the record books, Racing Club were the winners 25 years ago against Celtic over the 2 legs. Free kick then to the away side into the arms of Luis Islas. First touch for the Independiente keeper and current captain. So quickly up the other end. Independiente today with their 2 front runners, Ubaldi and Ibanez, being supported from midfield by Villarreal, Lenguita, Garnero and Savitsky. Islas, the keeper. In front of him, the back 4, Craviotto, Arsenio, Moas, who's arrived this season from Uruguay, and Mejide, the bald-headed number 3. That's a foul by, it looked like Craviotto from here. So another free kick for Racing Club, perhaps a little further out than the last one. But Islas will not want to be surprised by anything that the captain, Walter Ruben Paz, can produce from this range. Well, 30 metres out perhaps, slightly less. Paz leads it, and this time Islas is forced into an altogether more crucial save than the one a few moments ago that came straight to him and tipped over the crossbar as the free kick was fired in there by Borrelli. First quarter of the afternoon then to Racing Club, who started the more positive of the two sides. Swung in low, half cleared by the Independiente side. The referee is looking towards the linesman. There's no offside flag. Islas was a long way out of goal there. And defenders hacking the ball clear unceremoniously. Racing seeing plenty of ball in the early stages. Infield looking for Basualdo. Claudio Garcia in an unfamiliar position in the centre of defence, setting something up here, but the whistle's gone, and although the ball crosses the line, that won't count. And this time the linesman was flagging for an offside, as Claudio Garcia threaded a wonderful ball in, and that must have been a very tight decision indeed. Before the ball across the line, the referee indicating that an infringement had taken place. And my sympathies there with the away side for a very incisive early strike engineered by current international player Claudio Garcia. He's been having treatment all week for an injured thigh muscle, limped off in the second half of last week's defeat against Newell's Old Boys, but making the starting lineup here today. One notable absentee is Sergio Vázquez. Wonder how Racing will miss his influence at the back this afternoon. Turned forward by the blonde head of Savitsky. And Roja, the under-23 keeper, whose error really did cost Racing a share of the points last week. A rather soft winner presented to Lunari, the Newell's substitute, 11 minutes from time, spoiling what had been otherwise a good afternoon for the promising 22-year-old. So at the moment it's Islas, the busier of the two keepers. One crucial save from Borrelli's fiercely driven free kick in the first half, still at 0-0. Savitsky playing in a more withdrawn role this season for Independiente than the one he was used in last year. That's the unmistakable figure of Mejide, and that's a foul on the halfway line from Basualdo. Made his last appearance in the national side, Basualdo, at the World Cup final in June of 1990. When, of course, Argentina went down to West Germany by 1-0, and has been discarded by Alfio Basile since. That's a handball. Ibanez on this near side then entrusted with the free kick for the home side. First chance to really put pressure on the goal of Roja. Independiente have taken 5 from the first 8 points available in the second half of the season. Lost just once to Quilmes away from home. That was a moment of hesitation there between defender and keeper before the ball eventually broke rather gratefully into the arms of Luis Islas. Well, the Racing man appealing for a handball. We saw quite clearly coming off the body of the defender. Not the sort of cross that keepers like to see coming in early in a match. That one catching Islas in two minds. Claudio Garcia once again down to the dead ball line and wins a corner for his side. How often have we seen Claudio Garcia start so brightly and with a real appetite for the ball early on? The longer the game continues, if things aren't going his way, the temperamental number 7, El Turco, seems to become less and less interested in proceedings. And once again, Islas, a wonderful save with his feet this time. And Racing Club go close, as the corner wasn't dealt with. A double strike. That's the number 11 here this afternoon, Marini, coming into the side. But this was the one that so nearly produced the opening goal for the away side. And that was Andrada, before the follow-up shot was wide of the post. So two important early saves for Luis Islas. He's almost had an own goal to fish out of the net as well. And Independiente yet to really fire on all cylinders in the first half here. Mejide, the number 3. Garnero, Sivitsky. Good 1-2 played. Too many striped jerseys around there for the Red Devils to find a way through. Well, Claudio Garcia will make the most of that. It certainly was a foul by Mejide, and he's going to be in trouble, I think, with today's match official, who is one of the more senior referees in the division down here. That's Lusto, Senor Lusto. Certainly went for the top pocket. I wonder if perpetrator of this ugly foul, Mejide, is going to see a card here, as Claudio Garcia continues to receive treatment beneath us. And the caption they're giving us is a red. So Mejide has been sent off. Well, certainly the referee didn't make it too clear which card he was fishing out of the pocket, but there it is. And what a blow to Independiente. Mejide is off. The fullback goes in the first period here. Real drama early on, sending off inside the first 20 minutes for the Red Devils. They'll have to play out the remainder of this game now with 10 men. And Claudio Garcia, who comes to away grounds with something of a reputation for gamesmanship and play acting even before the kickoff has got the action underway, well, he's going to be in for a fairly torrid time, I should imagine, from the home fans for the remaining 70 minutes of this game. Independiente have a substitute warming up. That's Barrera. The ball is with Andrada. Back to the captain pass. That's a fine ball for Zacanti, but the whistle had gone. So Claudio Garcia then, El Turco, who a moment ago was writhing in agony beneath us, has, not surprisingly, made a miraculous recovery, and the racing number 7 is back into the fray. So Mejide off. Luis Alberto Islas, now 26. Last weekend keeping his first clean sheet of the season in that 3-0 win at Rosario Central. Before that, he was conceding a goal a game in the Independiente goal. Still very much on the fringe of the national side since returning home from Spain, where he was playing for Logroñés. So Independiente, who've come into this side 5 places above their opposition today, 7th as opposed to Racing's 12th. Racing, who've drawn a couple and lost to Newell's in the last 3 games, have just slipped a little in the table. 13th, their finishing position pre-Christmas, and another opportunity here. As the ball threaded across to the back post and coming in on the blind side, Andrada will be a little unhappy that he didn't make the most of that shooting opportunity. The angle perhaps just too much for him, quickly closed down as the Independiente backline again failed to read the play. Lenguita is off and Barrera is on. I wonder if that's a tactical substitution forced upon the bench by the expulsion of fullback Mejide. So Barrera on, the number 14, and Lenguita, the number 5, is off. Ubaldi brought down. Independiente yet to create anything at all in front of Roja's goal. And I should think fairly thankful at this stage still to be on level terms. Plenty of action then midway through the first half, including a red card for the Independiente number 3. Looking to test out the keeper Roja, who's forced into a save, but it came all along the ground and straight to him from Villarreal. So many goals resulting nowadays in South American club football from free kicks. Not surprising perhaps, where it's increasingly difficult to break down defences who funnel back in depth. Goals from open play very much at a premium at this level. Of course, in the South American scene, that will have to be retaken. And this time it's Racing Club who bring a substitute onto the field, and it's the captain Paz who's off, and Fleita used for the second week in succession as a substitute. Last week he was on at half-time against Newell. Today he's into the action a little bit earlier. And that one was within a whisker of connecting at the far end of the field, with Garnero breaking from midfield. Savitsky is deep in his own half on the far touchline, playing the ball forward as Independiente with Craviotto look to just turn the balance of play here, which has been all in favour of the away side in the first half an hour or so, just coming up indeed to the 30-minute mark. Here's Garnero. Andrada upfield. Haven't seen too much of Torres in the first half. He's been the marksman for Racing Club since the season resumed after the Christmas break. Those are the Racing fans, plenty of them here once again, and they're making all the noise here in the first half. Buenos Aires action once again for you this week. The derby on Argentina football. It's Independiente 0, Racing Club 0. Marini. Claudio Garcia has a free-ranging role, as you can see, in the front line for his side. Does sometimes rather leave Torres to do it all on his own up front. It's the Canti battling for a ball at the back post. Still the Racing number 4 will not be denied, and now it's gone behind off Torres for a goal kick. A word about Carlos Luis Torres from Paraguay, signed from the Olympia club, and has already hit 3 goals this season, unable to find one when it mattered last week against Newell's, currently leading the table alongside River Plate. And Torres, an instant hit with the fans at Racing Club, scoring twice on his league debut at Mandiyú at the start of the season. Now over on the far side, trying to find a way around the back for Independiente. The number 7, Ubaldi, leaves the throw to international Craviotto. Savitsky hustled off the ball. And those racing fans unhappy with the decision of referee Lusto. However, a corner it is. Hard to remember them having a corner in this first period. Forward gallops the Uruguayan Moas. They were looking for Savitsky, but he's outnumbered by striped jerseys. Well, the last two league matches between these sides have failed to produce a goal. But I certainly have a Racing Club ahead on points here in the first half. No foul. Ibanez. Garnero. Craviotto getting across halfway. I think he thought about taking one of the players down there. But with Independiente already playing with 10 men, thought better of it. Well, a racing man is down, but not, I feel, as the result of foul play. Here's the danger man, Claudio Garcia, looking to weave some magic on this near touchline. And this time he's fouled by Villarreal. So we're coming towards the end of a first half dominated by the away side. Trainer Sosa saying in the papers all week that last week's defeat by Newell's old boy was an injustice, and that they would be righting that wrong today, making Independiente pay for their first defeat of the season. Remember, it was 2 weeks ago that Racing led by a goal to nil at the Apertura champions River Plate. That one finishing 1-1. So perhaps unfortunate for Racing that in the first half the chances haven't broken to danger man, the Paraguayan Carlos Luis Torres, the newcomer in the number 9 jersey, who's been drafted into the squad to provide the goals in the second half of the season. Cross for Islas to gather under pressure. And does so. Claudio Garcia falling away off balance, providing the cross for Andrade. Is not the tallest of players, and indeed Racing not the tallest of sides. So attention to Luis Islas. Independiente finishing 9th in the Apertura pre-Christmas, managing a point a game, 19 from the 19 matches. And some symmetry about their season, really. They scored 19 and conceded 19 as well in gathering those 19 points, while Racing coming with a late surge after a really abysmal start to the new season for them last autumn, eventually climbing up to 13th position. One fewer than their rivals here today. Certainly both teams, it would be fair to say, have strengthened the squad during the winter break, summer break down here, of course, and will be looking for better form in the CLAUSURA. I'm sure that Independiente will be happier to be going in at half-time with the scores 0-0 than the Racing side. The bench, I'm sure, will be offering encouragement. The players have done well in the first 45 minutes. They are, with a man advantage, playing 10-man Independiente, but will be looking for goals in the second half. The position here then at the break in Avellaneda, it's Independiente 0, Racing 0. Welcome back. The position at half-time. No goals in this local derby between these two Buenos Aires sides. Late afternoon here as we get underway in the second period. Independiente in the red jerseys and dark shorts, defending the goal away to our left. And Craviotto looking to get the ball back to keeper Islas and tidying up as he does so well for his side, while it was Racing Club really making all the running of the first half, and Luis Islas making important saves from Borelli early on, fiercely driven free kick, and then saving with his legs from Andrada after a corner found its way through the Independiente ranks. Those the two real chances for Racing. They did have the ball in the net in the first half, but the whistle had gone for an offside, and Mejide sent off for a bad challenge on the flying Claudio Garcia. A more lenient referee than Senor Lusto might possibly have shown yellow, but Mejide went, and Independiente faced the second period here with 10 men. The initiative then still with Racing Club. Into Garcia, who's, I see, donned the captain's armband after Walter Ruben Paz went off midway through the first half to be substituted by Fleita. Racing, who haven't won since the opening day with that 2-1 win at Mandiyú. Torres with the double on his debut, and that's been followed up by a couple of draws at home to Huracán, away at River Plate. A good result, that one, and then the disappointment of losing what had been a 12-game unbeaten run when Newell's, on a smash and grab raid in the capital, came down from Rosario to take both points last week. Cross from Craviotto straight into the arms of a grateful Roja under no pressure. Independiente got off to a 2-1 winning start at home to Platense, then lost, as we told you, at Quilmes, and that was followed by a draw at Santa Fe in their last home game, but an excellent 3-0 win for them up at Rosario Central a week ago. So Independiente certainly would have come into this game with some confidence, but at the moment, as local derbies so often turn out to be, it's a rather tense affair which has failed to spark into goal action. Not for the want of trying from Racing Club, though. They're putting plenty of bodies forward, trying to find a way through this strong Independiente defence. 19 goals conceded, remember, pre-Christmas. Not a bad record at all, even by ultra-defensive South American standards. On the halfway line, this is Garnero. He's given the ball away. Fabri. Basualdo coming forward. Claudio Garcia off on a run. Torres waiting for a pass that never came. But Racing do have a throw-in and retain possession down near that far corner flag. Now the linesman kept his flag down there, but the referee has spotted an infringement. All the noise is still coming from the Racing fans here. Second substitute off the bench is Lopez, the number 15. Independiente, incidentally, the most successful of club sides in the Libertadores Cup, the South American equivalent of the European Cup. They won 7 league titles since Racing last took their final championship back in '66. As the substitution is made, Lopez is on. And the Red Devils, remember, have never been relegated from the first division here in Argentina. Here's a chance for Marini to cross the ball in, and really should have done better there. Moas, the big Uruguayan, was quickly across to concede the corner, and that was a real danger. As Independiente, just for a second there, lost composure and allowed The number 11 Marini in behind the defence. Some pushing in the penalty area, and that'll be a free kick to the home side. And there was an arm raised there, which the referee took exception to. So Boccini, the trainer here at Independiente for 20 years, a real linchpin in their midfield for the club. Picked up a handful of caps for Argentina as well, and alongside co-trainer Carlos Fren, doing a good job here of looking to re-establish some former glories with the side that has an outstanding pedigree amongst South American aficionados. It may be River Plate and Boca, the two sides currently in ascendancy down here. But Independiente have such a strong tradition, backed by a large following, influential club members, not short of money. And many people expect them to do something exceptional in the second half of the season. 9th for them pre-Christmas is, by their standards, simply not good enough. 7 wins, as we were saying, in the Libertadores Cup between 1964 and 1984, incidentally beating Liverpool 1-0 in '84 in Tokyo for the World Club Championship title. And as Liverpool found out on that afternoon, they're a very hard side indeed to break down and a hard team to beat. And with shots like that from Claudio Garcia going way over the crossbar, that will not be the route to victory here this afternoon. Racing Club, the blue and white stripes of Argentina, taking the game here to 10-man Independiente in what has been a good exhibition of open attacking football. And everything that's been good about the game so far, apart from the sending off of Mejide, and I think that was perhaps a little harsh. A mistimed challenge on Claudio Garcia, which he made the most of to make sure the Independiente number 3 went. And apart from that, we've had everything to enjoy except the ball in the back of the net. Claudio Garcia really is everywhere at the moment. And when he has an appetite for the ball, that's always a good sign that Racing are on song. Certainly their supporters are at the moment. They sense the goal is perhaps not too far away. Here's the ex-international Basualdo nearly playing a good ball forward for the substitute Fleita. And Islas not able to take any chances there. Independiente really are rocking at the moment, being forced back and having difficulty just clearing the ball beyond halfway. Oh, that's superbly done by Borrelli. He's playing as the last man here today in place of the absent Vasquez. Claudio Garcia is one criticism, that he does drift in and out of games, but he really is buzzing here today. Racing with their tails up at the moment, chasing every ball. Torres not noted for his work rate there. Really moving quickly across the turf beneath us to block the attempted clearance from Craviotto and concede the throw in. And still, it's Independiente penned down near their own corner flag. Nothing for Fleita there to work with as the whistle's gone. Arsenio, the blonde number 2, just taking a deep breath there, and well he might, because Independiente at the moment need to slow things down, take the heat out of the situation. Racing with their tails up. Independiente fans absolutely silent here in the stadium. And anxious moments for the home side. Reduced to playing on the break. They're once again defending here as Marini gets in a tangle. There he is, the number 11 who's come into the starting lineup today, only 19 years old. And in fact making his league debut here in this match. Been on the bench for a few games thus far. Independiente really at the moment have no shape at all. There's nothing for them in midfield to relieve the pressure on the back four. They're giving the ball away too often and have become completely punchless up front in this game. They've produced nothing to disturb Carlos Roa since we got going in the second half. So while Borelli and Zacanti, Di Stefano and Fabri have a quiet afternoon at the back, Paz certainly hasn't been missing, and we see Andrada with the throw-in, Basualdo moving purposely more and more into midfield. But Torres and Claudio Garcia, despite all their running off the ball, as Flater goes in on the blind side, Islas aware of the danger and out quickly to gather. Still the front two for Racing, unable to engineer a clear-cut scoring opportunity. Well, our official today, Lusto, really does miss nothing as the shadows lengthen here, late afternoon. And a distinctly autumnal note about the conditions here today. At least 15 to perhaps 20 degrees cooler than it was last Sunday when we were at the Racing Stadium for the visit of Newell's. And a clear indication that those southerlies will soon be blowing up from the South Pole. And with them the onset of winter down here in the Southern Hemisphere. This is a good run on the far side. Outnumbered and completely surrounded by striped jerseys. Well, no wonder Ibanez looks disgruntled. His teammates offering no support at all. In this second half, remember, Independiente are down to 10 men. And both trainers, Porcini for the Red Devils and Sosa for Racing, spending much of the half on their feet out of the dugout. And looking perhaps increasingly as if one goal will be enough. Always looking to pick out Claudio Garcia. He's been on the left, he's been playing through the centre of midfield, supporting the strike force, and now he's once again over on the right-hand touchline. That's Fabri, the second man who's come into the starting lineup today. Missed the defeat last week against Newell's. Néstor Fabri. Now Savitsky just crowded out again. Really wasn't a good ball into him, giving the blonde number 9 very little option indeed, and no time on the ball whatsoever. Foul throw. Now 28 years old, Craviotto that was, with the throw into Ubaldi, on by Garnero. And Ibanez with a cross he will quickly want to forget. And by my reckoning, that's the first time in this second period Independiente have managed to string more than 4 passes together across the pitch. The final pass, indeed, from Ibanez was quite dreadful. Second substitution then for the away side. Alfonso is being brought on by Sosa, and it's Marini, the youngster. And the 19-year-old's league debut is ending, for him rather unsatisfactorily, with a substitution here in the second half. Alfonso preferred then to play out this match as Racing look to just change shape once again and see if the fresh pair of legs can produce a winning result here this afternoon. And for Alfonso, that's also his first appearance in the first team this season. Karansa, remember, still missing for Racing, sidelined with injury, and there's no doubt that the Racing side have been missing him. And no surprise to me that Gwendolen was dropped for this game, having failed to make any impact at all in midfield last week in that Newell's defeat. Alibaldi goes writhing on the ground, holding his face. The referee saw nothing wrong with the challenge. A measured ball by Borelli forward, where Fleita, Torres and Garcia between them have given the Independiente ranks plenty to think about. Fleita's actually made quite an impact since replacing Walter Paz in the first half. Can't imagine that the captain would have been simply substituted. Paz has gone to the dressing room, so he didn't hang about on the bench, must have picked up a knock in the first 25 minutes or so. Here's Andrada showing a nice bit of skill. And the throw in from Di Stefano. Famous name down here in Argentina, of course. This particular one is just 20 years old, born in Quilmes, and has come into the first team this season. Also a member of the Argentine under-20 squad. Flicked header from Torres finds the substitute Fleita. He'll do well to get the better of Arsenio with no room to work in at all. Off the head of the fullback Di Stefano, and a throw in to the Red Devils. No, the referee has signalled a foul. Fleita's foul then, left for Arsenio. A lot of youngsters really being built around the skills of Cravioto at the back for Independiente, while he's 28, the rest of his defenders 21 and 22. But it's at the other end that the Independiente fans really want to see some action. 80% of the game has been played in their half. It's been a day when the Red Devils have failed to find any sting. But a chance once again for Torres. The whistle had gone. Islas wouldn't have been aware of that, and another good save from the highly impressive keeper, spreading himself quickly at the feet of the Racing striker. And the number 9 was marginally offside, was he, when that ball was played? That's one for debate. Not so sure there that Torres wasn't robbed of a real shooting opportunity, and maybe it's as well the ball didn't enter the net. There may have been considerable controversy had a goal at that point been ruled out for Racing Club, because with the minutes ticking by here in Avellaneda, it's looking increasingly as if for the third fixture running between these two sides, we're heading for a 0-0 draw. No doubt 10-man Independiente will consider that a moral victory. They've played much of this game without Mejide sent off in the first half. While it's never been a dirty game, Lusto has had control really from the start. I wonder if the official might have taken a more lenient view of that incident. It certainly seems to have knocked the stuffing out of Independiente, although to be fair, they had a very sluggish start anyway. And even with 11 men on the field, were on the receiving end for the first 20 minutes. They could be on the receiving end again here at the moment. Racing proving the point that managers often say it's harder to play against 10 than it is at times against 11. And over-eagerness on the final ball is just seeing them run offside. And once again, the second time in a couple of minutes, the linesman who made that decision, well, really was marginal, to say the least. So the break's perhaps not going Racing's way, with a man advantage pulling the strings here. Can they, in the remaining 10 minutes of this match, find a goal to give them their second win of the CLAUSURA? A point dropped here today, and it certainly would be seen that way by trainer Sosa. Would see them, even after the first month of the season, losing ground on the leading sides, Newell's and River Plate. Throw it on the far side. Independiente. The Red Devils need to find a little bit of devilment about their play here if they're to surprise Racing in the final stages of the second half. Roja has had a most comfortable afternoon here in the autumn sunshine, and really hard to remember him having a serious shot to save in this second half. Oh, that's wasted. And a tame effort coming in from the number 16, Fleita, who put in a lot of good work up to that point, but finding the ball on his wrong foot, certainly prefers the left side of the field to do most of his work in. Didn't really get hold of that one at all. And Luis Islas, for one, I'm sure, will look forward to hearing the final whistle. It's been a good test for this young Independiente defence. Arsenio, 21. Lenguita, he went off in the first half, but Moas, the 22-year-old signing from Danubio in Uruguay during the midsummer break here, has certainly had a fine game. The number 6 has looked cool and unflappable. He's needed to be all of those things today with a Racing side that's been buzzing around the Independiente penalty area for much of the 85 minutes. Well, the home fans don't like it, but with a man disadvantage, it's easy to understand why Independiente were happy to kill the game there in the final stages and keep the ball back with Luis Islas as the 90 minutes are up. And the final score here in Avellaneda is the local derby finishing Independiente 0, Racing Club 0.
Más allá de haber jugado con un hombre de menos todo el partido, Independiente no se quedó conforme con este empate, mientras Racing lo terminó festejando. Como dijimos en videos pasados, desde principios de años la barra del Gallego había repartido panfletos y entonado cánticos, denunciando la irregularidad en la recaudación en el partido homenaje del Bocha, plata que estaba destinada a pagar una deuda que tenía el club con Bochini. A la salida de este partido, la policía de la montada persiguió y emboscó al Gallego Popey y le dieron una paliza que lo dejó gravemente herido en el hospital. Según rumores de cancha, había sido el mismo Babi Sande, comisario retirado, quien había arreglado la golpiza. La persecución policial siguió con otros miembros de la hinchada, teniendo como consecuencia el faltazo de la barra en los siguientes partidos del Rojo. En el resto de la quinta fecha, jugada casi íntegramente el 22 de marzo, en Rosario, uno de los punteros Newell recibía Gimnasia de La Plata.
La va pidiendo Berizzo, también Lunari, Berizzo viene, noche y hay falta, penal. Toma carrera Berizzo, tiró, ¡gol! Eduardo Berizzo, 47 minutos de penal. Cuando suena el silbato de Juan Carlos de Maro, marcando el centro del campo. Justicieramente gana Newell aquí en Rosario.
En el Monumental, el otro de los punteros River recibía a Belgrano.
Coming for you from the game between River Plate and Belgrano Córdoba. Well, the reason that Newells have gone clear at the top tonight is because River Plate surprisingly dropped. Fans settled back for what they thought would then be a routine demolition of the visitors. Belgrano thought otherwise, and they crafted two superb goals to turn it around and lead 2-1 at the break. The first comes up here from Spallina on 33 minutes. That one brought the sides level. Their lessons from that particular breakaway goal, because they concede another similar one 2 minutes before half-time. Once again, there are three Belgrano men up supporting, and this time Sosa finds the back of the net from way outside the penalty area. But River Plate happy in the end to grab a point. The Millonarios starting to get the bird from their fans as impatience grew. 59 minutes and Walter Silvani. Yes, that man again with his fourth goal of the...
El viernes 20 de marzo se enfrentaron en la cancha de Vélez dos de los escoltas. Español recibía Boca.
La parte superior arriba nuestro, las de Español, y empezó el partido. Cabañas para la torre y atrás para Villarreal, que toca para Junta, quien sale jugando por el medio con Apud. El tucumano domina, marcado por Michelini, quita Michelini, toma Junta. Lo permite Español salir del área, la manta para Villarreal. Villarreal, tiro centro, entró Cabañas. Golpe de cabeza, respondiendo al longo. Y complementando después Correa con Agoglia. La corrida de Agoglia. Un rebote en Abramovich, la toma otra vez Agoglia, que bien la tira sobre la punta para Parodi. Llega Caviglia. Toca Caviglia. ¡Oh! Del Deportivo Español, Caviglia, Marcelo Caviglia, entrando por la izquierda en un notable contraataque del Deportivo Español. Llevó la pelota Parodi por la derecha, después de un gran pase de esa sensacional promesa que es Agoglia. Vino el cruce de Parodi, Caviglia dio un paso doble para sorprender a Simonia Navarro Montoya, y con un remate bajo de derecha al palo derecho del arco de Juan de Justo, decretar Marcelo Caviglia el primer gol de Español, y Boca sabe que Español no es cuento. Español 1, Boca 0, Marcelo Caviglia, 37 minutos del primer tiempo. Mejor fútbol de Español. Sin embargo, tomó Amato para Apu, para Amato al área. No, al círculo central para Chunta para Villarreal. Villarreal con la torre y Cabañas esperando. Se viene Villarreal como número 10. Villarreal la tabla para la torre en la media luna del área. Gol. Perplejidad de los hinchas de Boca, que no tienen ni idea de cómo se llaman la mayoría de los jugadores del Deportivo Español.
En Parques de los Patricios, uno de los terceros, Huracán, recibía uno de los segundos, Vélez.
Insiste Huracán, Morales, está habilitado, Morales. Gol, Morales. Gol!
In first half minutes, Morales giving the home side the lead on 29. Watch out for a blistering strike through Mancuso here for Vélez. It did take a deflection on its way into the top corner 3 minutes later, and the sides are level.
Pegará Unali. El centro. Herrero. Gol. Gol de Huracán. El negro Herrero conectó un centro de Unali. Sorprendió a todos y muy particularmente a Chilaver, y Huracán el Globo le gana a Vélez 2-1.
En cancha de Vélez, en el clásico, Argentinos recibía a uno de los que venía tercero, el Platense de Marcheta.
A esta altura ya lo estaban silbando a Argentinos. Atención, se molestan los defensores. Alfredito es Cassini, un golazo sobre la hora. El centro, se molestan Gómez y Traverso, los dos centrales. Gómez, que no le puede entrar bien a la pelota, el zurdazo.
En Córdoba, Talleres empató 0-0 con Unión. En La Plata, Estudiantes recibía Central, que se recuperaría con una goleada.
Lowly Rosario Central, and beaten comprehensively as well. 3-0 here for the away side. Slack defending, allowing Visconti to go through for the opener on 18 minutes, and then a superb downward header from Ubeda 9 minutes later, and Rosario going in at half-time, already leading by 2-0. And not a result they were going to throw away either, because a third tying it up 13 minutes from full-time. Ubeda's second of the game, once again proving...
En la cancha de Ferro, San Lorenzo recibía a Quilmes.
Penal, dice Castrilli, el remate de Gorosito dio en la mano del hombre de Quilmes. Ya viene la orden de Castrilli. Gorosito, gol en el final del partido, tal como lo señala el juez Javier Castrilli. Final.
Y en Corrientes, Mandiyú recibía a Ferro.
Winning by 4-0 away at Deportivo Mandiyú, as Mandiyú really folded against a Ferro Carril side who had the taste for goals early on. Biazzotti, after just 5 minutes play. Ferro Carril in the green shirts didn't take long to add to their tally either. A second came in after the keeper's fumble 5 minutes later. This time Pobersnik is on hand to convert a simple second chance. Strikers in Argentina don't miss opportunities like that. With 2 goals to the good inside 10 minutes, Ferro well and truly on their way. 2 more goals coming in the first half. On 22 following that corner. We've seen a few good headers here already on today's program, and there's another one at the back post from Todo, as the Deportivo Mandiyú defense is at 6s and 7s. Same player, similar type of header into the same corner, and Deportivo Mandiyú are really all at sea now. Ferro Carril.
Con estos resultados jugadas íntegras 5 fechas, así estaba la tabla de posiciones.